First of all, thank you so much for joining me, because you're one of the few people on YouTube as well that takes care of music while being a woman, which shouldn't sound so weird, but some people make it sound weird. So how long have you been doing your channel? What do you do there? What are the challenges you've faced so far, if any?
Oh, a lot. I've been making videos properly on my channel for about 2 years, maybe 3 years. No, 2 years. But I had videos up there from before, from like university projects and stuff. So I had like a random video that I made for a journalism class up there, and then I didn't realize, but it got like 1,000 views randomly, and I was like, okay, people can see this. So then I was like, I'll make videos. And I started making videos for my channel, which is part of a series called The Record Review. And that's where I take an album, and specifically the album on vinyl, and like look at it and talk about aspects of it, like not just the music itself, but also like the context, the social, cultural ideas that are in there. And definitely as a woman doing it, it's like you're the only female face. Whenever you search for like a review of something, it's like you'll have man, and then like one woman.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah. It's like a weird thing as well, because sometimes people will come to the video expecting a style that's very, I think there's almost like a very like specific style of music review on YouTube at the moment, which is very influenced by like the needle drop.
Yes.
And a lot of people copy the style.
Yep.
And then it's like, but there are other ways to review music, there are other ways to like talk about it. So that's definitely a bit of a challenge to like figure out how to do around it.
Unfortunately, I know exactly the feeling. There is some sort of, I don't know if it's prejudice, I don't know if it's an general common belief still that, the level of professionalism or interest for women to music is usually driven by something else than just the artistic side, which again, it might be a common belief, but it's definitely not the case. And I really appreciate your channel exactly because it comes out with that kind of proper critical thought about the context and everything, without necessarily having to be a guy saying that or have to be taken seriously, because the things you say actually make complete sense. So thank you so much for doing that. It really made me so happy when I found you.
Well, thank you for inviting me today. Like, it's exciting to talk in person with people.
No.
Because YouTube is so much like camera.
Yeah, no, camera still, because we like the interaction to all levels. But today we're going to talk about your 10 songs that define your life. And I personally love your playlist. Like, I was going through it, compiling it, and I was like, actually, this I could have picked myself. Ooh, this, no, I'm really glad that someone picked it because I really like it, but I couldn't have. So.
But it's so difficult. It's such a horrible challenge.
I know, it's really, instead of actually picking 10, it's how do you cut it down to 10, isn't it?
Definitely.
I know. I'm sorry. I've been through that as well. But starting off, let's start with the first, and then we'll see how it goes. But the first one is the Spice Girls for you.
Yes.
Spice Up Your Life, which Alfredo, a friend of mine, will love. He's such a big fan. So why is this the first for you? What is it connected to?
So I think that Spice Girls were probably the first band that I remember like liking or being aware of as a musical band. I sort of grew up in the 90s, and it was that whole time of like girl bands, boy bands, but like that whole girl power thing, like everyone forgets that the Spice Girls were one of the first, even though they were a manufactured band, they were one of the first ones that kind of changed the rules of like how people were putting together bands, and they just existed. I realized recently that they only really existed for about 2 years or 3 years, but they had such an impact.
Yeah, at the time it seemed much longer, didn't it?
Yeah.
I know.
They're a bit like the Beatles, I think. Like how the Beatles are like such a short period of time, but they made so many songs that, I don't know, they think it was like a lot the soundtrack to my childhood with Spice Girls.
Again, couldn't have chosen anything myself better. So let's see the Spice Girls, and we'll see you later then.